The basketball addicts are back at it on the Eastern Conference side of things. It's the Heat Pacers. I want to talk about Dwayne Wade and his level of play, but first we have to address the situation at hand. We're not even sure if Paul George has a concussion or not, but the reports seem to be coming out that there's some concern around the Pacers and the NBA that Paul George didn't get properly checked out after his little bump, and potentially we could not have Paul George on the floor. As a coach, what do you do when you encounter something like this? Your best player takes a hard hit, but you absolutely need him if you are going to do your job.
Yeah. Well, he's got to sit out. If he's got a concussion, he's got to sit out. There's a protocol to return to play, and if he doesn't pass it, then you really don't have any control. That's a medical issue. As a coach, you got to hope that that he's okay to play, but you can't force the issue. You can't take that liability of playing someone who's...
They're lucky with the schedule a little bit because there's a couple, an extra day off or two. Right. So they really have to figure out what's going on with his health. I don't think he can play. I don't see how he can get on the court for Game 3.
All right. Well, hey, concussions suck. We know that, and that's really going to suck if we lose a great player like Paul George through that. But let's jump on the other side. Talk about losing a great player. Dwayne Wade's knees have cost him the better part of a great Hall of Fame career. But right now we're seeing Dwayne Wade play really well because the Heat sat him, put him on ice for major parts of this season. Yep. Can Dwayne Wade maintain this level of play through this conference finals and maybe into the finals?
He will, because the next game will be a blowout.
He will. Proclamation.
No, because the next game will be a blowout. The first game in Miami will be a blowout. He's going to get rest. And then he'll be able to get rest as the rest of the series, because this series is not going to be much longer. It's done in 5 still.
They've been building for this all year.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. They knew they were going to preserve him during the regular season. And here you are in the playoffs right now. He picks and chooses his spots, picks what games he needs to be good, which moments, and it's working for them. It was the same thing last year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go 7. I think he's going to wear down. I don't think he'll be the same player if they make it to the finals.
Wow. Okay, that's why we got the coach on the couch. Now, Coach, I got another question for you. Game 1, we saw the Pacers pull a Nolan Ryan. They pitched a perfect game. Can they get a repeat of the perfect outside shooting, Roy Hibbert going off? Is that a performance they can get again?
I think they can get enough to keep squeezing out games and making this a really interesting series.
Really?
I don't think so. Lance Stevenson is playing out of his mind. When do you see Lance Stevenson run up and just pull up for a 3? That's not going to continue to happen. I think, like I said, I say 5. Oh, Lance Stevenson's not going to keep putting up these numbers and carrying that team, especially if George is out.
I hate to disagree with the coach.
I know.
Go ahead.
I don't see how Indiana has a chance in hell of winning a game in Miami, and they were banking everything on this home court advantage. That's gone, and now I don't think they have anywhere to go.
So you have them finishing this, what, 5, 6?
5.
5.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Indiana's won the last game.
Yeah. We're holding him accountable after that Spurs call last year.
Evo's accountable too.
You're accountable too.
Yeah, 5.
But if it goes 7, Roy looks good.
Roy looks real good.
We look bad.
So now, another guy we got to talk about, there was allegedly a big 3 in Miami. It's been a big one for me personally. I think LeBron James has just proven that he's so much better than anybody else. But Chris Bosh was put on the floor maybe to spread the floor for the Heat. He's bricking up shots. But is he still doing his job, spacing the floor, dragging out the other big for the Heat and making them effective?
I mean, he's doing a good job of that. But
He's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think you're seeing, he's starting to get older too now, and the mileage is starting to pile on. He's not the same player.
What?
That's what I
Bosh
see.
is like 13 years younger than Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett's just as effective.
Well, I think that he's just playing hesitant. I think he's scared to disappoint LeBron. That's the biggest thing. But he is doing his job to spread the floor. I think his defense has been terrible, though. That to me is the biggest part of it.
Yep.
And he's getting worn down on the defensive end as well, so he doesn't have his legs for that jump shot.
Here's the thing with Bosh. He's just there for those moments when he might be needed. And I believe in a moment that they need a rebound or they do need a defensive stop or even a key shot, he has the confidence that he can make it, and he probably will.
That
he doesn't need to be.
They don't need an $18 million shot of rebound.
After LeBron, Ray Allen looks like the youngest player on the Heat.
That is true.
Ray Allen is incredible.
I don't know what he's doing, but that shave job and whatever he's doing with his face, moisturizer, amazing stuff. Listen, Norris Cole went off last game. We talk about the benches for these two teams. Is the Heat bench better? Because, I mean, everyone talking about the Pacers being a deep team, Dan. The Heat bench better?
the Pacers never really had a bench, and the best guy they had was Danny Granger. They went and
Watson, Scola, Evan Turner. These are names around this league.
Look, Scola isn't a big name in the NBA. He's had a great international career. When they did acquire him, I did think it would help them in the playoffs. I don't know if they utilize him properly. Evan Turner, I said this on this couch when they made the trade. Unproven, stats on a really bad team, has never been on a winner.
So is Vogel the
and he's
problem?
Doing nothing for them.
So is Vogel the problem that he's not motivating these guys? Because Evan Turner's a basketball player.
Vogel isn't the problem. The problem is Miami's a better team.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Bird. Bird just came back. Where was he? He was away. They were doing well. He comes back. Maybe it's Bird.
So you're good with Vogel as the coach right now? You
have to be. I mean, he's done a pretty good job with that team. I mean, he's dealing with a lot. I mean, they're dysfunctional at times, and he's managed to get them to this point. And if they win another game, they get back that home court advantage, and then they got a chance.
If they lose, do you keep Vogel as your coach?
You keep Vogel, but one of the bigger players is gone. Okay. Because of all that inner turmoil with that team. They're, like you said, they're just so dysfunctional. Coach stays. He's doing the best he can with that group, but somebody's going to go. One of them, like Hibbert or West or something.
One of the guys I hope doesn't go is one of my favorite basketball players, New York City's finest, Lincoln Rail Splitter. That is my man, Lance Stephenson, who's been showing out for that group. Listen, when we come back on the Hangout, we got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers once again getting the #1 pick. Talk about it. The Philly Sixers, Orlando Magic both have #1 picks in the first round. And what is Lance Stephenson doing? $5,000 fine for, I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. This is not a basketball move. We'll be back on the Hangout.